Hi there, and welcome back to my daily mini quarantine concerts. This is day 48 of 100, and I'm really actually quite pleased that I have a bit of a theme that I'm able to now share with everybody, because today would have been the first day of the 2020 Mahler Festival in Amsterdam. My connection to Amsterdam is very special. My connection to the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra is very, very special to my heart. And so what I thought I'd do for the next 8 days is to play excerpts from every Mahler symphony. So today I'm going to be playing just a small excerpt from the third movement of Mahler's First Symphony. And the reason why I have such a special place in my heart for Mahler, when I first moved to Amsterdam in 1982, I went there to originally study with a horn player who was a member of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra for 41 years, Adriaan van Woudenberg. And just tell you a little bit about him. Adriaan van Woudenberg was the solo hornist from the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra in Amsterdam for 41 years, and also the hornist in the Danzig Quintet, one of the most highly regarded quintets active in the 1960s and 70s. And he was also very exponent in the natural horn as well. He was born in 1925, so he's actually 95 years old, and he's still alive and still doing lots of things, and not playing the horn, of course, but he's still alive in Amsterdam. And I studied with Adriaan from 1982 to about 1987, and he was born in Amsterdam, studied the horn at the conservatory there with Richard Sell. In 1943, he won the position in the Concertgebouw Orchestra and was promoted to solo horn in his second year, a position he held until he retired in 1985. So he's done many, many recordings, and he has worked with many conductors over the years. Of course, his first part of his tenure with the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra was with Mahler Mengelberg as conductor. And over the years, of course, he has, we all know the history of the Concertgebouw, but most famously with Bernard Haitink and then Ricardo Chailly and Muti and all the great conductors that have been since then. But his other horn students includes Fergus McWilliam from the Berlin Philharmonic, Soren Hermansen, and Herman Jurgensen. So it was a great, great honor to study with Adriaan van Woudenberg at the Conservatory in Amsterdam. He's a fabulous horn player, and he was the one that really introduced me to Mahler. And being in Amsterdam and hearing the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra many, many times in many live performances, they're absolutely the best orchestra in the world, in the best hall in the world. I think I've played over my years almost every Mahler symphony. I had the great pleasure of performing Mahler 6 with the Radio Philharmonic, the Netherlands Radio Philharmonic with Edo de Wart. And I also performed with the Residentie Orkest with, at the time, Jaap van Zweden, who was conductor. So, and then over the years, of course, Mahler 1 is very popular, Mahler 2 is very popular, performed many times, and I just performed Mahler 2 a couple of years ago here in Toronto with the Mississauga Symphony. So yeah, anyways, I just thought I'd sort of bring my own version of this Mahler Festival, and you can follow the Mahler Festival online in Amsterdam, from Amsterdam on YouTube, and every day they are sending YouTube videos of performances, but of course there's no live festival at all. I was very fortunate, you can see this book right here behind me, to be attending live the Mahler Festival back in 1995. That was a very special festival to take part in, and to watch all these incredible performances. Every single Mahler symphony I saw in the Concertgebouw with Concertgebouw Orkest. And then, of course, the Mahler songs, the Lieder, I saw many times, many performances. And it was also a unique time to be in Amsterdam in the Concertgebouw, because the Concertgebouw was undergoing an incredible renovation at the time. So at the same time as this Mahler Festival, there was construction underneath the hall because the supports that are supporting the hall, most of the houses in Amsterdam are built on stilts. I don't know what they're called, but pylons. And of course, back in the late 19th century, the pylons were made of wood when the Concertgebouw building was built. And all those pylons were rotting, and they needed to be replaced with iron pylons. So there was this incredible giant hole underneath the hall where they had giant tractors and construction vehicles underneath the hall, and they were pounding in these new pylons to support the building, because Amsterdam is basically water. When you dig down 2 or 3 meters, you hit water. Amsterdam is below the sea level, so they had to replace these rotting pylons made of wood with iron ones, and it took quite a long time. I can't remember how long the construction was, but I think it was at least a year or two. And of course, they were not doing any construction during the concerts, so they only did the constructions when there's nothing happening in the hall. So that was quite unique. That was an incredible engineering feat, that they renovated the hall. They did some renovations in the hall as well afterwards, with repainting it and making it all pretty again. But they've kept it completely in its original state, but just basically made sure that it's not sinking anymore in the sand and the water. So yeah, Mahler has a very special connection to Amsterdam, and I was just going to. Sorry, I'm rambling on. I see it's already 14 minutes. So the Mahler tradition in Amsterdam is very special, and they did have a Mahler Festival many years ago. The first Mahler Festival was already back in 1920 when Mengelberg paid his full final respects in May of 1920 to Gustav Mahler with a Mahler Festival in Amsterdam. And at the time, Mengelberg was celebrating his 25th anniversary as conductor of the Concertgebouw that year, and performed all 9 completed symphonies. So I hope you enjoyed this little excerpt from Mahler 1, and I'm going to try and play an excerpt every day for the next 9 days, because they're 9 symphonies. And that's it for now. Have a great day. Enjoy some Mahler, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.